Outsiders, issue 10, Colin Kelly and
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Lansing with Robert Carey on the art. And this is the penultimate issue,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought this was the final issue to get into, to be honest, but apparently it's 11 issues. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough, whatever. I'll accept whatever you tell me. But,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so this is basically Drummer, or Jaquita, more accurately, is launching her plan to use the big cannon to destroy the multiverse, destroy the cosmic bookcase with all the comics on it, to leave just the one that she wants left, presumably the one she came from.
Right.
And
What you would assume is the Vertigo / Planetary universe, right?
yeah, and basically this book is Kate realizing this, reading the Planetary book, and telling Luke, and them realizing they're in the shit, and we have to try and go and stop her. And so it's a lot of that. Is a lot of it's the build up to this happening, everything firing up, and the fact that some of the various puzzle pieces that are coming in play here, like Jenny's gun, the magic one, is going to be a factor here. The vampire lady from that other issue, like her child, is going to be like
it's going to be the actual bullet that's fired to kill, to bring the end of the multiverse. And you're like, oh my god, these guys are getting super heady.
Yeah, so it's actually surprisingly a lot more action than I thought there would be, given the premise of this issue, because basically Kate says she called in some friends to try and help, and we get this scene where a portal opens up, and this is the AI of the thing,
the ship. Yeah,
that's actually letting them in, because she's conflicted about if she should help Jaquita or help Kate, because they're both her friends. But we get Jenny. We get the Century Baby lady from that issue, and
they're both Jennies, because it's Jenny Crisis and Jenny Hex.
Is it not Jenny Hex though, or is it Jenny Hex?
Yeah, it's Jinny. I forget what it's short for, but this one's Jenny, which is Jenny.
Yeah, so as I was saying, they're not the exact same. It's Jenny and Jenny, right? Okay,
right.
And then the other big thing that comes through the portal is the giant shark octopus monster,
the king kaiju at the bottom of Atlantis.
Yes.
That we got introduced to, and he's sad because he's the last one. And that's what I loved, is when the ship was like, you might be my oldest friend to Jaquita, but you're not my only friend. And it's just like almost like a boom tube, right?
Yeah,
and there's just
much.
This big king kaiju sitting there, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm going to call the monster Jeff, just so we've got a name.
Jeff, all right. Jeff.
Was that a What We Do in the Shadows reference you were making there?
Yes, Jeff.
So yeah, bit of action, bit of fighting, and this is where Jaquita breaks out some like super strength. Like she punches the monster back, and like seemingly is unstoppable. It's like, wait, she's been holding back a lot of power this whole run.
Yeah, because she hasn't been. So she's descended from a Century Baby. I don't want to give too much of Planetary away, but so she's, if the Century Babies have like super powers, she's the next one down, but she's older than you would think, so she just has had a lot of time to focus, and I like to think she caught the kaiju by surprise, Jeff, as it were.
Yeah, but she kicks them all back through portals and gets rid of them, so they all go away. And she's like, hey, I haven't had this much fun in years. I should end the world more often. So, so Jaquita has turned out to effectively be the villain of the book. Here as we're going into the finale, and, Kate and Luke show up, confront her, and, Luke basically kind of hesitates, when she says, hey, are you really going to come and be a superhero? Have you learned nothing from what I've shown you? And, there's that little panel showing what he saw of, Batman, or himself in the Batsuit.
Well, it was Duke, right? It was that version, right?
Oh, was
He's
it Duke?
The last
Sorry,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, he was said, you're not a bat. You don't have the trauma, right? Yeah. You can't do this. And so it's almost like she put the fear in him.
I do think this book's going to read well at a repeat read, because there's a lot of these elements coming back from the prior issues that I feel like I'm remembering a lot of them, but there's definitely stuff that I'm not remembering that well. Right. So
well, because the last issue was all about them finding out the actual canon, which was a lot of fun, and then this one it jumps to like 11, you know what I mean, when this all starts popping off. And I do love that you have the throughout this series, like reds and blues have been like the primary like artistic interpretations, and the all the last pages here between drummer slash Chiquita and Kate and Luke are red blue, and it's all a balance, and they're working against each other. And I think that's just a nice touch.
So the cannon's firing. They can't really do anything about it, and the AI's freaking out because she can't pick both sides. It doesn't know what to do. So the end of this issue is like reality's breaking down, everything's turning white, and the AI says it might be too late. And Kate says, you know, then we're done, it's over. But then the last part is the AI saying it's never ... and then it just goes white and it says next the end. So I suspect whatever this next issue is going to be, one, is going to be weird, because I assume that. But it does feel like the AI's probably done something here in the last moment before reality's wiped to do so. Like, you know, because whatever happens, I expect reality will be fine at the end of the last issue. It's just it's just a question of how we get there.
Yeah, it's how we get there and what it does to Kate and Luke. Like, are they going to remember this time as the outsiders?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Right? Is this the trauma that's going to inflict them to turn them into true bats? Right? Because they you know, it looks like they're preventing a crisis, right? So, but yeah.
Yeah, I did like when Kate comes out with the book and says, we've got a crisis. And because it's a DC book, that's got a very specific meaning. But to be fair, a cannon trying to wipe out the multiverse is a crisis.
It is. And we got red skies there at the end, too. So, like, it's right on, you know. But I do like that it seems like Colin and, it's Colin Lansing, or, you know, Kelly and Lansing. They seem to have an idea from the start. Now all the pieces are falling into place. And like you said, it's going to read probably together a lot better than month to month, which I'm finding by reading through Planetary right now. If I had to wait for those issues for Planetary, it would have probably driven me insane. Because there's so much that's going on. So it
actually worked quite well month to month for most of the run, because they were very standalone issues. But now that we're getting to these last couple, and it's bringing back elements of almost every issue, this is where it feels like, oh, this would have been better to read it in one chunk, because now it's bringing back things that we read like 8 months ago. But still, you know, like it feels big, it feels bombastic, it feels like we're about to get some kind of, you know, it feels like Kate and Luke are about to meet the architect from the end of Matrix Reloaded or something like that. That's the way it feels like going into this final issue.
Oh my god, do you think they're gonna pull a Morrison and they talk to the writers?
Oh, it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah,
it wouldn't shock me.
Because we're dealing with canon, what is canon, what wasn't canon, right? And what makes it through and what doesn't. And you're introducing this vampire baby as the bullet to end everything, because he is the end of all things, right? So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, or maybe we find out this was always out of the current continuity, and this is just what gets Luke and Kate into current continuity or something. I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know. Because when was the last time Kate was around in like a regular Bat book?
It's been a while. She hasn't had a big moment in a while. I want to say she was involved with the tower, right?
Yes, she was in the tower. Yeah.
So she had stuff to do in the tower, and that's the last time I remember seeing her. That was
like 2 years ago now, though.
Yeah, because Luke had stuff to do with that too, I believe. Because they were still but it's been a minute. So, but I do like, you know, using all of these characters here too. You know, the Jenny Hex and Jenny Crisis. You know, bringing them back around as well because of what they represent too. Because those two, well, not Jenny Crisis necessarily, but Jenny Hex always felt like a loose end. So for her to show up here,
I swear you're just saying Jenny twice.
Jenny and Jenny.
No, Jenny and Jenny.
Jenny and Jenny. That's what I said.
No, you did. You said Jenny and Jenny.
Jenny and Jenny.
Jenny.
Right. Like if you drink something and it tastes like a pine cone, it's Jenny. But if you know, like Forrest Gump's love was Jenny and Jenny.
Actually, it was Jenny.
Yeah. But if I said it like that, then it doesn't. Anyways, we should rate this.
Yes. What are you rating it?
I'm gonna give it an 8.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8. It's a solid issue. I like how big and bombastic it feels. Seeing the big monster again was fun. You know, Jeff was a cool character.